From what I hear, she is refusing to get it. So now I am asking, and asking my followers to please tag her and tell her Sweetly Season is asking her to please come pick up their money. Okay? I am here on Forest Lane in Ardelio Road. Please. And also, if you guys want to come out and support, please, I am here. I'm not going anywhere. All right. Thank you.
Child, who in the hell would want to pick up that money or eat your food with that stank ass attitude? Hey, what's up and hello? This is the Chris Nicole giving you my views on life, love, and the world of entertainment through my eyes. And I am going to give my opinion about this craziness that happened with Keith Lee in Dallas at a food truck. Child, when I tell you this blew up the internet, like one thing about it is that Keith Lee, for the past 6 months, yeah, his name keeps ringing out there. The good, the bad, and the ugly. And in this situation, it really doesn't have anything to do with Keith Lee. It's just that Keith Lee is in the middle of it because, of course, he's Keith Lee. So one thing I will say is that there's three sides to every story. I believe that there's Sherelle's side, which is the one who kicked this off and explains what happened. You have the Sweetly Seasoned owner side, and then you have the truth. And I would have to say the truth at this point is Keith Lee's side, okay? So Keith Lee went to Dallas and he ended up going to a food truck, and apparently the food truck owner's son is a famous TikToker, and then also this other girl by the name of Sherelle Hodge. I guess Sherelle Hodge and her son are friends, and they both have high numbers on TikTok. And apparently, they both promoted Keith Lee coming to the food truck, his mother's food truck. Okay. I guess they, shouted him out, did what they could as far as their social media presence to get Keith Lee there. And Keith Lee actually went to the food truck. I actually saw his video where he was eating the woman's ribs. I think there was also banana pudding, and he gave a decent review on her food, right? That could be life changing, okay? And so after that, he ends up giving a generous tip like he normally does, and he told the owner that he was going to give her $2,000. He was going to give the barber $1,000 because it was pretty much set up like your average, hood section where you have people doing hair, you have food trucks, you know what I mean? Like you have a little bit of every entrepreneur in the hood that's in a parking lot trying to do their thing, trying to hustle. Okay. So he said, look, I'm gonna give 2,000 to you, the food truck lady. I'm gonna give $1,000 to the barber to get free haircuts, and I'm gonna give $1,000 to Sherelle because I guess Sherelle also does braids as well. So he said, look, I'm gonna give you that money. Now, with that being said, it seemed like everything was all good. She was gonna get the Keith Lee effect, okay, that everyone talks about. This man has over 15 million followers on TikTok. Next thing you know, all hell breaks loose, and Sherelle posts on her TikTok page the drama that went down afterwards. Check this out, and this is fair use.
So a lot of y'all know yesterday I got to meet Keith Lee. Great. Congratulations. I'm still humbled by the experience. Like, I am ecstatic. Blessings to your family. I really appreciate you. But now this is where the downfall comes in. A lot of y'all was on my live when he said this.
I see y'all giving out haircuts.
Little brother, yeah.
He wants to give $1,000 to the barber so he can cut
everybody else. Oh, that's my little brother. He wants to go pick up my baby brother from school. We want to leave you $1,000. Here. We want to leave you $2,000. And granted, everything was cool, right? Me being me and thinking everybody else is going to have the same genuine heart as me, I charged him $4,000 on his car, meaning all the money went to the food truck in hopes that she would do what she needed to do. Right? Wrong. So after everything had died down, mind you, on top of him tipping $4,000, this man left an extra $886 to feed everybody else that was coming. Right? Right. But this is where she went wrong. I'm in the truck, mind you. I'm a worker. This is your business, so I'm doing what you say. She tell me after this person, which is the third person, that you got to start charging again. Now it's one thing when he say I'm leaving this for free, and for somebody to come and order like one of everything on the menu and try to get both desserts and drinks and shit. Like, yeah, you can put a limit on that. But if this man left you almost $1,000, why the fuck did you stop handing free food out after the third person?
Okay, Sherelle, this is where you went wrong. Stop assuming because you have a big heart that other people have a big heart. Hell, that has been my problem in the past. We have to stop assuming because we are always about doing the right thing that other people will do the same. Okay, that's the first thing. Now, apparently, Sherelle has been tied to a scandal in the past. I did some research because the owner of Sweetly Seasoned and her son keep saying that she's a scammer. Interesting though that they want to say she's a scammer now, but she wasn't a scammer when she came that day to help when it came to Keith Lee coming to his mother's food truck. But apparently she's tied to a scandal. I didn't see anything that said she was the scammer. I saw that she actually was exposing a scammer. But you guys let me know who maybe are familiar with her if that is the case. I'm just going to say allegedly, but I just know that that situation really has nothing to do with the Keith Lee food truck situation. But the owner did respond to what Sherelle had to say about the whole giving out free food because she said that Keith Lee gave more money to give out free food. And she said that after the second or third customer, the owner said shut it down and start charging people again. This is what the owner had to say.
Oh, the free food. That's a lie. That's a lie. I was supposed to close at 5 o'clock, but Keith Lee came right before that. So I set out to 9 o'clock giving out free food to everybody. That is a lie. That is a lie.
Shout out to Randomization 50 on TikTok. They were able to capture her whole response video because her internet connection was horrible. I don't know what type of damn Wi-Fi she is using, what internet service she has, but it was absolutely insane. Now, she says what Sherelle said about her giving out only free food to maybe 2 or 3 customers was a lie. And she was out there until 9 p.m. Now, if that's the case, there isn't at least 1 or 2 people besides you or your son that can verify that information. No one posted that you gave out free food. No one showed pictures of you giving out free food. No one did a hashtag on you who probably wanted to have some type of attachment to Keith Lee showing that you were giving out free food. I haven't seen any proof yet that she was giving out this food. If that is the case and you guys have seen it, please let me know. But typically, especially when you have someone as big as Keith Lee, people will come just so they can say they got the Keith Lee effect or they was at least around the Keith Lee effect, okay? To me, if she was giving out food, someone would have said it by now. Someone would have shown pictures. I haven't seen them. So at this point, I'ma say maybe, just maybe, she's full of shit. Moving on.
She told me, she said, look, I've just want to let you know it'll be about a day or two before you guys get your money. I work with Square. I've been running my business for the past 4 years with Square, so I know exactly how it works. But if you've been running this business for years, your money gonna clear the next day, correct? So this morning we got up. Mind you, I'm thinking I gotta go back to help her because yesterday you ain't have nobody that wanted to work for you. You get what I'm saying? So my friend had me come and help you, and then my brother was really only out there, but you somehow trying to make it seem like my brother was giving free haircuts when he was posting flyers with his prices on them. Come on. So then I wake up today, people hit me up talking about, we want to make your menus, we want to make your flyers, da 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 da. My main thing was, I'm not the face of this company. You get what I'm saying? I'm not the face of this company, but I can put you in contact. If you go through my comment section, you will definitely see where I'm tagging her business over and over and over because people thought it was my shit. So I hit her this morning, was like, Kim, you have workers today? Also, there's a guy who's wanted to do your menu and flyers for you, so I'm sending him your number. Who is this? Sherelle. Yes, I have workers for today, and you can send me his info. Thank you. That was it. So I respond back. I will send you his Instagram, and did you see if your money cleared? You can keep the money that was left for me, but my brother is preparing to leave and go back home, and I'm unsure how he'll get it once he leaves. Granted, all I had to do was send it to her, or she could have sent it to him, whatever. She said, please call me back so an agreement can be made. But before we even got to those messages, she called me, and she was just like, well, I didn't invite your brother to come out there and cut hair. I didn't invite you. My son invited you. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give $1,000 to my son, and he'll give y'all whatever it is he see fit out of this. Hold on, ma'am. Hold on. Now, I did you a solid by saying I get money. When I opened my eyes this morning, I had a deposit for $1,500. You get what I'm saying? And I made money since. So I told you to keep my money, but I was more so pressed about the issue of my brother. Keith Lee don't know my brother. My brother don't know Keith Lee. My brother don't know any of y'all out here. But when you gave him the green light to post his flyers after he cut both of your sons' heads, yes, they paid.
Child, you know it's a red flag when people want to text you back and forth, but all of a sudden want to say, call me. Usually they want you to call them because they don't want proof in writing about what they're going to say to you. That's been my experience. But with that being said, one thing that I will say both of them seem to be in agreement with is that the son seems to be the one that connected the dots between his mother and Sherelle. It sounds like Kim doesn't really even know what the son did to bring all of this together. He probably contacted Sherelle, said, I need your help to possibly, get the word out there that I want Keith Lee to come to try out my mom's food. And the mother was unaware of it. She just went on her day to day when it came to her food truck, and she just let her son handle the social media and the marketing part of it. So when Sherelle said that Kim said, my son invited you, yeah, he probably did. It's very obvious. However, your son is a reflection of you and your business. Whether you like it or not, that is your son. So if your son invited them, then that means you invited them. That's my opinion on the situation. Now, it sounds like the brother, Sherelle's brother, used this as an opportunity to be put on, whether it's for his own publicity or whatever the case may be. That tends to happen when you're dealing with someone like not only Keith Lee, but you're also dealing with people who understand the social media marketing game. You're dealing with Sherelle and Kim's son, which I think his name is Trey. They both have hundreds and thousands of followers on social media. So she probably did invite her brother, and Trey assuming probably because he's a social media influencer. Social media influencers love to think that everything is for free. He probably assumed, oh, he's here to give out free haircuts, when in reality, he saw this as an opportunity to make some money and to promote his business. So I would say in this situation, they're saying the same thing as far as the son. The son probably didn't tell the mother what all he was going to do. He was just going to try his best to get Keith Lee there. And Sherelle did what she needed to do to try to get Keith Lee there as well. And oh, at the same time, I'm going to hook up my little brother to see if he can possibly get some promo for his business as a barber and make some money at the same time. Typical hood business one-on-one. Like that's just the way it rolls.
Found out my friend had said he assumed that he was giving free cut. No, he pulled up to the area because he saw it as an opportunity because we couldn't make it to Jonathan's shop to meet him in time. No one. Y'all didn't hear it on my face. Y'all didn't see it on my platform. Y'all didn't hear it out my brother's mouth say, I'm giving free cuts, pull up to the spot. Do you know how many people would have pulled up? Keith Lee probably was under the assumption, hell yeah, he didn't even say it. Let's be honest. Keith Lee didn't even say, oh, I'm giving you $1,000 because he said, I'm giving you $1,000 so you can go and get free haircuts. But bitch, we couldn't even make it out there to get free haircuts because you tripping over $2,000. Like, come on, the man walked up and literally said, I seen your live, I seen this live. The wife even said, hey, Sherelle, let me see that cheer. Was nobody on the live? Like, well, I know y'all was on the live, but come on, bro. You got your kids in the background fighting for you. Like, it ain't even your kids. It's that one lady who didn't even want to get in a food truck with you in the first place. That's how I ended up there. The sole purpose of this was so you could get the exposure. You get what I'm saying? You wanted the Keith Lee effect.
Well, she got the exposure. She was exposed. And she got the Keith Lee effect. But the Keith Lee effect can be good or bad. She got the bad. In fact, she got the ugly. Now, everything that Sherelle is saying so far makes sense. She said that Kim could keep her $1,000 because she makes money just off of the exposure alone, just with the Keith Lee effect. So it was okay for her to say, you can keep my $1,000. I just want my little brother to have his money. So when it all boils down to it, okay, Kim from Sweetly Seasoned, she literally collected $3,000. $3,000 in just 1 hour, probably less than that. She collected $3,000 and there was still drama.
So at what point of it do you feel like you can play God and step in the way and say, oh, I'm going to block this blessing from this young black man who's trying and do what I want to do? And you think your shit going to prosper? Baby, I'm going to make it my personal mission to see that nobody will see Sweetly Seasoned. You hear me? I don't care if I got to post up on every block that you own and make protest videos. You do understand that a lot of these people wanted to come out and see my face. Do you hear it in the live? Is that Sherelle? Is that Sherelle? You know what I'm saying? I am the clout, bro. With all due respect, Keith Lee, I did not want to bring you into this shit, but you did your part, so now I gotta do mine. The S effect is in full effect, and I'm on your ass. For sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna end this.
Well, you could have ended this if you just did what Keith Lee told you to do. But no, you decided to literally get your ego involved and your greed involved and your son involved, who added more fuel to the fire.
Okay, so let me address this situation and let me tell y'all the truth, unbiased of what's really going on. Basically, somebody wants clout and they want their name involved in this situation so bad that they are telling lies in order to gain attention and followers. Notice that all of their videos mentioning Keith Lee, whether positive or negative, are the only ones on their page that are over 100,000 views. Check out mine. That's not the case. I do not have to use Keith Lee to exploit for views. I would never do that to him. The fact that somebody I call my friend is doing that is making me sick to my stomach, and that's why I was not trying to make a video to address it. Like I told Sherelle, let's handle it privately. However y'all want to do, we can email Keith Lee, we can talk to him, we can figure it out. But this internet stuff ain't no point for that. That's just for views and money and clicks. Like, we don't need to do that.
Okay, he's playing this sad music in the background and he's talking about clout chasing. And you can't have an unbiased opinion, Trey. Kim is your mother and it's her business. So you're always going to be biased. However, I will say this. Sherelle really only talks about her exchange back and forth with Kim. she did not mention in this particular recording if she spoke to Trey after she spoke to Kim and Kim said that they're not a part of the brand. Because if that is her connection to Kim and she doesn't really know Kim and that's supposed to be her friend, I would have reached out to him after his mama started tripping. And I don't remember her saying anything like that. Now, after you spoke to him, if he was also tripping, then yes, I'm airing y'all asses out. But that's a valid point. She did not mention after that. I spoke to my friend Trey. Trey was also tripping, saying he wasn't giving my brothers money. So was on. She didn't say that. It seems like as soon as she heard what Kim said, she was completely turned off and she was ready for war. So that's definitely something that, we can kind of raise an eyebrow on. Did she speak to Trey? If you guys know the answer, by all means, let me know. But doing this for clout, come on, both of y'all got over 100,000 followers, and at the end of the day, her just putting Keith Lee's name in her video, showing that video, and it being a positive thing would have still given her clout. So I don't know about that. I think at this point, egos when it comes to these social media influencers. I don't know about the clout thing, but he does bring up a point that makes me wonder, did Sherelle reach out to Trey after Kim started tripping? But let's continue.
The issue was, listen to the words that Keith Lee said in this video.
I see y'all giving out haircuts and doing braids. So he wants to leave $1,000 to the barber.
Everybody speak English, right? Everybody heard him say he wanted to give $1,000 to the barber to cut everybody's hair for free. When it came time for that to happen, the barber said he could not make it. He cut one head for free that day, and that was before Keith Lee even got there. Everybody else, he got paid for. He pulled up to the event because he knew Keith Lee was going to be there because we got a call the day before saying he was. So in order to help build his brand, we allowed him to use the generator, use everything else, use whatever resources he needed to help him build his business. I made a promotional video to try to get him more clients. I was trying to help the man. So initially, through the excitement, we was all just thinking Keith Lee donated the $1,000 to him just, out of the kindness of his heart. But after the excitement wore down and we watched the videos, it was like, oh, he said to cut hair for free. So that's when I asked Sherelle, could her brother come to the food truck to cut the hair for free? She said, no, he has to leave, but he wants his money before he leaves.
And he should have received his money. Keith Lee still gave him a $1,000 tip from the kindness of his heart. But he said he can cut hair for free. That doesn't mean that he has to sit out there all day and all night until he does enough haircuts to make up for that $1,000 that Keith Lee gave him. He didn't say that. He just said, look, your overhead is paid for to cut some heads for free. Period. Just like for your mom, your overhead is paid for to give out free plates. If the barber can only do one head for free, your mom, what was her excuse for only giving out 1 or 2 plates? I don't understand it. But of course, when people want to be greedy, they want to change the narrative and try to spin it in their mind what someone said. The $1,000 didn't belong to you, period. It belonged to the barber. And also, Trey decided to say, I didn't even invite the barber here. Well, at this point, yeah, it's clear you didn't. But at the same time, Sherelle invited him and you wanted Sherelle. Sherelle brought him along. She didn't know that Keith Lee was going to give him $1,000. Keith Lee decided to do that. And since Keith Lee decided to do that, that means you do what Keith Lee said to do with the money. Period.
But you didn't do what Keith Lee asked, so why do you want the money? We have to now find a whole nother barber and pay them to cut the hair, but your brother still want his money and y'all know we're struggling. So I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna lose a friend over $1,000. It's not worth it. They really need this money so bad. So I said, out of my bank account, I will pay the $1,000. Out of Keith Lee's money, the $1,000 will go towards another barber who can actually come and cut hair because he couldn't. Okay? I thought he was giving out free haircuts, so I announced it on the live, which I apologize for. I thought he was giving free haircuts out. He even cut my brother's hair. So I told my brother, you know what? He trying to get some, new customers in Dallas. You looking for a barber? Sit down and let him cut your hair. It's free. Just try him out. My brother did so. Afterwards, the barber was asking for money. I'm like, I thought it was free. He's like, no, I need my $30. So now I'm irritated. I'm just like, whatever. I got 20 I can send you. So I sent him the $20. My brother sent him the other 10. My brother also pays him for my nephew's haircut as well.
Okay, so you just said you were going to take $1,000 out of your bank account to give to Sherelle's brother. But at the same time, you got annoyed when you found out that he actually was charging you for the haircut, and you tell him you only have $20 to send him. How are you willing to give him $1,000 out of your account, but you're not willing to give him the full amount, the full $30 for your haircut? Something's not adding up here. It's not making sense. But let's continue.
So they know that I can't go to the bank and get the money because the bank's closed. My mom doesn't have the money in her bank account. So how is she supposed to get it?
In sidebar, he said they're struggling. What does that have to do with Keith Lee saying give that man $1,000? Also, he also stated in another live or in the same live that he lost his bank card or his bank card was stolen or something like that. So he has to go to the bank to get the money. What about Zelle? What about Cash App? What about Venmo? There's like so many ways to pay people at this point where you don't have to go to the bank.
And you're giving me an ultimatum that if you don't get your money by a certain time, you're going to go on the internet and blast my mom's business and ruin her reputation that she works so hard to build. Yet you're out here scamming people. We don't do things like that. Search up the person's name who out here slandering my mom's name. Search up them and scam in the search bar and see what comes up. Now do that with my name and see what happens. Nothing. Troy, you want to get on the internet and talk about my mom's mothering? How many kids do you have? How many kids have I met? How many kids have I ever heard you even speak about? It's about 3 missing. I don't know what's their names, what they look like, where they at. You don't talk about it. You can't talk about nobody's mothering.
Okay, you crossed the line because your mother is an adult. Sherelle is an adult. Your mother can defend herself. That's why she went on Instagram Live to defend herself. I am going to assume Sherelle's kids are young. They're children. They're babies. They can't defend themselves. So yeah, you crossed the line on that and you added more fuel to the fire.
I built this business from the ground up. Me and my son. And for her to even think, because she called somebody out there just to braid her hair, that she deserved $1,000 and try to make it seem like. Now I could see if when Keith Lee said, give that barber $1,000 for free haircuts, he should have said, anybody, come on, who wants their haircut for free? Come on. Then he would have deserved it. Then that would have made him with me. Because now you're helping me. You're shining on me. This man was not with me. He was only solely there because my son called him to cut my hair. I'm going to give my son what he deserves. And I would give her some because she did market me that morning, but that's all she did. And I don't even know who he is. The barber, that's my son's hair. He wasn't with me. Keith Lee, I heard he thought that they were my kids. They're not my kids. Those were my son friends. But this ain't even about money, y'all. This is about the principle. How dare you come and make it seem like this was something that it wasn't? You were supposed to be out there to support Sweetly Season, a struggling business. And then you turn around and make it seem like it was something that it wasn't. I dare you. I dare you. And yeah, for everybody, I'm getting emotional because y'all have no idea how much work and effort I put into my business. And I don't know if this is gonna make me or break me. I don't know, but I know I got God.
Okay, so here is her thought process in this situation based on what I'm hearing. She is saying that because the barber was not invited by her son and he really wasn't even there to represent or help out with the Sweetly Seasoned brand, he should not get $1,000 because he was not there to help her struggling business. That is her situation. And clearly, what her and her son, I guess, are trying to say is that he was strictly there for the clout. He got some money and he bounced. That's what I think they're trying to imply. But here's the thing, you still don't have the right to say what he deserves if Keith Lee said give him the money. That's one. Two, everyone in this situation is trying to get clout in marketing. Everyone is trying to get it. Now, you may think Sherelle was wrong with her just bringing her brother along, but the reality is you said you have God. Well, God brought you Keith Lee to give you marketing and promotion. And on top of that, you got $3,000 that day. When was the last time you saw $3,000 of a profit when it comes to your food truck business? So, okay, in your mind, maybe you felt like he came just to use that moment. Guess what? Your son used that moment for you and him. Sherelle used that moment. Everybody was using that moment. So, okay, let him have the money. Because if you have God, you know God is going to handle this. If there was ill intent in the situation, God will handle it. You give him his money. You thank God for the blessing he gave you with Keith Lee coming to support your business, and you keep it pushing. But you didn't do that. And that's where the problem comes in. You should have just gave him the money and this would have never happened. And knowing what Keith Lee can do to people's business, you could have probably made $3,000 a day for the next couple of days, if not forever, because he promoted your freaking food truck. But no, and I can't stand people with that nice, nasty attitude trying to bring God into the situation. God did have your back, but you fumbled the blessing. That's just what it is.
I feel like Malcolm X and Martin Luther King with so many hate calls all night long, threatening me.
Girl, what the hell? What does Malcolm X and Martin Luther King have to do with your ghetto ass food truck? Nothing. Did you really compare yourself to Malcolm X and Martin Luther? You know what? Okay. So moving on. Keith Lee responded to all of the drama. So let's hear what he has to say.
So let's talk about that. 3 days ago, me and my family went to Sweetly Seasoned Food Truck. Number one, nobody had any idea we was coming. They found out we was in Dallas like everybody else found out we was in Dallas because we was posting videos in Dallas. So in hopes of us coming, they had t-shirts made and they was on live all day. So me and my family wasn't in cahoots with none of this. We was all under the impression that they were a team and this was a normal routine for them. The barber being there, the braider being there, family being there, a lot of people being there. This is our first time here. We are customers. We have no idea what's going on behind the scenes. Number two, I was never under the impression that haircuts was free. Again, my family was watching the lives. We knew that he was cutting hair for $40. So when we walked up and I said I want to get $1,000 to the barber to do free haircuts and $1,000 to the braider to braid hair, It was because in the original video, the son said it was slow due to marketing. That's marketing. God willingly, after we post the video, there will be a line out the door. If there's a line out the door and there's a barber and a braider doing hair while people are waiting, that's marketing. So again, it's in the hood. You play some music, you cutting hair, you braiding hair, y'all all sitting out, y'all having fun. It's a parking lot barbecue. So again, we don't know the behind the scenes if they knew each other, if they didn't know each other. And the reason why I didn't pay everybody individually, the interaction that you see looked longer than what it was. It was really only like a 5-minute interaction. But then at 5 minutes, 30 to 40 people pulled up. They was pulling up in droves. That parking lot was getting deep fast. And for me and my family's safety in general, I don't never carry cash around. Last thing I'm gonna touch on is the son is misconstruing something that I said, and I don't appreciate it. After I said out loud in detail what we deemed the money to be used towards, I also said y'all can divvy it out how y'all feel necessary. Meaning, after the money hits, because it's a POS system, it don't hit the same day. Y'all can send it out through Apple Pay, through Zelle, through Cash App, through check, through cash. However, y'all feel necessary to spread it amongst the team. I thought and I still think that that's a very clear statement, but it's being misconstrued, in my opinion, intentionally misconstrued. That I said, and the mom and the son can say who get the money and who don't get the money.
So Keith Lee did tell her to distribute the money how she felt necessary.
I never said that.
So one, the son lied because he said that they knew the day before that Keith Lee was going to show up. So he lied. So if he lied about that, what else did he lie about? Also, Keith Lee said he thought everyone was together. They're customers. He didn't know the braider and the barber weren't all connected. He thought, this was, in the hood, like I said, and everybody is working together. He said he gave the $1,000 for marketing purposes because he said that apparently it was slow. So what do? You give them $1,000. People can get free haircuts. People can get free braids. And that is marketing. It's for free. He does a great job. She does a great job. That way you can get more clientele. So he pretty much was paying for the marketing purposes of it because everyone's business was apparently slow. So at the end of the day, once Keith Lee actually cleared this up, they came back with an apology post. And then the mother and the owner decided to post this video.
Hi everyone. I am reaching out to you guys today because my son, he already called or texted, however, he got in touch with Sherelle and asked her if she can pick up the money. From what I hear, she is refusing to get it. So now I am asking, and I'm asking my followers to please tag her and tell her Sweetly Season is asking her to please come pick up their money. Okay? I am here on Forest Lane in Ardelia Road. Please. And also, if you guys want to come out and support, please, I am here. I'm not going anywhere. All right. Thank you.
The eyes are the windows to the soul. Now, y'all look in her eyes, and what do you see? I don't see anyone who's remorseful. I don't see anyone who truly wants to give up the money because she realizes she was wrong. I see evil. That's what I see. I see evil. Okay? Let me tell you something. This situation was so unnecessary simply because of greed. And some of it a misunderstanding, maybe a lack of communication, egos, all of that. But now, allegedly, this woman had to shut down her business. All in a matter of what, 1 week, 2 weeks, okay? It's a sad situation because apparently her food was pretty good. But I will say this, all of them I have question marks for. Even Sherelle, because like I said, did Sherelle reach out to her friend Trey before she really decided to blow this up? or once she had her exchange with the owner, his mother, she decided to take it there. Then also, I have plenty of questions for Trey because his story isn't adding up, especially with him claiming he has to go to the bank. This isn't the 80s. We have ways to get our money and be able to transfer money to other people with our phones within seconds. So, and honestly, I know people are gonna say, well, Chris Nicole, why you talking about Keith Lee? What does he have to do with this? I think Keith Lee needs to understand at this point, he has a brand. He keeps saying that he is a regular guy, a regular family man, young man. You are no longer a regular family man when you have 15 million followers. Now, maybe in your house, yes, you are a regular guy, you are daddy, you are husband, but you now are a brand and you have to protect that brand by any means necessary. I don't think Keith Lee and his wife are going to be able to roam around like they used to. Once the Atlanta situation kicked off, then you had the Bay situation kick off. Now you have this. He is going to have to tighten up, in my opinion. He's going to possibly need to have security. I understand he's an MMA fighter. He's still only one man. Okay. He's going to probably have to have security. He's probably going to have different people he trusts around him. He may even need to have someone else divvy out the money. Like he needs to truly, at this point, tighten up because now, when you really think about it, with all the good that he has done for the past 6 months, his name has been caught in a lot of negative bullshit. It's sad, but it has. So, as far as I see it, everybody in this situation needs to tighten up for several different reasons. I respect Keith Lee for what he does. I respect what he's doing. But since his brand is about truly finding mom and pop type of restaurants, small independent restaurants that are really not getting the marketing and the attention they deserve, sometimes you're going to deal with that mom and pop BS, okay? And that mom and pop ignorance and that mom and pop unprofessionalism. Okay? That's just what it is. And because of that, you have to make sure that you protect you, your wife, and your brand at all costs. With that being said, I hope you guys were able to kind of get the overall scenario, the story of what happened in the situation. Trust me, I couldn't post everything. Otherwise, I would have been here for 2 hours. Let me know what you think in this situation. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you on my next video. Toodles.